Hi, everyone. Welcome to what was supposed to be the next episode last time, but we had a special episode. Now, this is the next episode this time. And today we're talking about family phantoms. So we get to tell some of the fun stories. I'm Dee.
And my name is Kathy. Ma.
There we go. I was about to say your part, Ma, say your part. Okay. So, a lot of people have a lot of different, I guess, guesses as to what, like, why is the house haunted? Is it haunted? And so, like, for our family in particular, some of the stories we're going to tell, we're not sure if the house is haunted or if the thing was put there intentionally,
Or is it the property?
or is it the property. Yes. So because we don't know, because we're talking about the one house that we went to and all the things happened, not grandma and granddaddy house. You
Yes,
know.
I know who you're talking about.
Okay. So, like, we don't know if this was intentional or if the house is haunted or the property is haunted. But yeah. Also, there's a difference between mimics versus demons versus flesh pedestrians. You're not supposed to be able to say the real word. I don't mind saying the real word. I am protected. So the real word is skinwalkers. But in
Why
order to,
can't you say that word?
I said I don't mind saying that because I'm
No, I
protected.
said, why aren't you supposed to say
Oh,
it?
because they say legend has it if you talk about it, then they show up. And so that's why they say flesh pedestrians. And I'd be like,
Yeah, but
talk to
there's a whole
people.
television show where they say it the whole time.
Right. To talk about the ranch, the Skinwalker Ranch.
Yes.
hmm So yeah. But and then just regular spirit. So like we know for grandma and granddaddy's house that they have a lot of residual energy, but they also
Mhm.
have whatever kind of portal energy is happening too. But
Correct.
like we know about their residual energy because of that time where my former spouse was like, y'all hear
Do
that?
you hear that?
Yeah, went in the house, looked around. They didn't go too far in because they was like, nah, bruh, the TV off, and that's the only thing you hear making noise. That should be making noise. And it was like, you hear that? And it sounded like kids playing inside the house. And I was like, oh, there's probably some residual energy. And it was like, oh, we gonna be out before night comes. Like night was gonna save, you know what I mean? Like what's happening in the night is gonna happen in the daytime too. Like
It ain't
whatever.
like it's vampires.
Right. Exactly. A Sinners movie reference. So like, and then mimics is kind of what I think that y'all experienced, the two of y'all,
Okay.
in the other house. So I'm gonna
Right.
have to tell that story.
No, you tell go first because I mean, are we just talking about what we saw?
Yeah, but also what you experienced, because I experienced a lot with that person.
Okay, I'll I
I'm talking
mean,
about whenever y'all was like speaking to each other, but it wasn't each other.
yeah, oh my gosh. See, I was totally like, whoo, way over there.
No, that's what I'm talking. Because that'd be like a mimic, I would say. So yeah, so
Okay,
go
can you give me the because you know what? I've always been interested, but you're the one that's done the research. Give me definitions on everything so I can be like, oh yeah, that's what it is.
So basically, what a mimic does is it literally mimics something or someone. So sometimes you'll see a mimic mimicking, like you'll hear someone say your name and it'll sound like you saying your
Mm-hmm.
own name or like someone else you know saying your name. But then
Mm-hmm.
you'll know, like, wait, I'm in a house alone or that person is not with me. So, like, grandma used to say, like, if you hear a knock at the door, but you don't see nobody there, don't answer that door. If you hear
But
somebody
she
calling your
all
name, but you home alone, don't answer them.
But she also used to say, if you hear something calling you, don't you answer it. She's like,
Mhm.
if she said that you can tell the difference in it. She said, if you hear something, like in the woods or, while you're playing, and she's like, and we're not home, don't answer it.
So
And
they have
I
that same rule in Appalachia.
really,
Yeah, so they have the no you didn't rule. If you hear something like call your name outside, no you didn't. If you see something in the woods, no you didn't. Because the moment you acknowledge it, it begins to like stalk and haunt you. So yeah, in the hills of the Appalachian Mountains.
I
So yeah.
have never heard of that.
hmm
But she used to say don't answer it, and I don't know if she told us or us being the scary children that we were, if 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 we just thought it was death.
Mm. I've heard that before, that it could be death calling. But like, why is death so polite? Like, I feel like that's nice of you. Thank you.
No, but you know how, I what we always thought, and because we used to like go through the woods and everything. If
Mhm.
we ever heard anything, we wouldn't look back because
As you shouldn't.
I remember growing up reading Bible stories, and it was Lot's wife when she
Mhm.
turned around.
Oh, and the salt, turn the salt.
Yes, and they
Mhm.
always said that that she could hear like family screaming and everything,
Mhm.
and she probably didn't think that was going to happen, but it was probably one of those things where it's like, I'm just going to turn around and look and see
Mhm.
my
Say goodbye
family.
one more time.
Yes, like a goodbye one more time. And so me and Denise and Rodney, the scary children, we wouldn't even turn around. We'd be like, keep
Bump
going.
them people. Right. That's probably why, like, they would be yelling our name. It'd be so loud. They'd be like, Newton Nanny! Why? Why are you doing this out the door?
Why are you doing
Why?
this in front of company?
Right. Just out the door yelling my name. And it'd be the most ridiculous thing. Can y'all come turn the TV? You
Oh my
literally
gosh.
get up
Yes. Yes.
by the television to yell me, tell
Yes.
me here to do this.
Yes.
So
See,
yeah.
you were lucky because you didn't have the antenna.
We did. When I first lived with them, we did have the
They
antenna.
had
We
to, you
had the
and you had to turn
satellite.
the antenna.
Yes. And they're like, can you just hold it right there? No. No, I can't. I can't hold it right here. And then like we'll put some foil right there. So it'll hold it for it.
Yes, or it's raining outside, possibly lightning and thunder, and
And they want you to hold the antenna.
yes, they
Mhm.
want you to run outside to the back of the house and turn it,
See,
and you hollering through the window to the other sibling, stop right now, and you're like, all right, go back a little bit, go back.
see, we didn't do that in the rain. When it rained, they turned everything off. Everything was shut down.
Well,
The whole house
see,
was out of service.
because they loved y'all more. That was all to it. They was like, we got four of y'all. One gone ain't gonna hurt nothing.
We only got one granddaughter, one grandson. We care about them.
Exactly. We care about them.
Oh my goodness. So yeah,
Okay,
so
so a mimic will call you, and
mhm.
and and it can also look like something else.
So the look like something else goes between mimic and flesh pedestrian. Why am I saying skinwalker? So
Yes.
like a lot of times skinwalkers will pretend to be not children, animals though.
Okay.
So listen, on my side of TikTok, there is this couple playing with this dog, but the dog is not looking like a dog. Like the dog's face is off, and they're like, "What's wrong with you?" And then they look outside and they see their dog looking like, "Who is that in the house?" And then they're like, "Well, whose dog is this?" And then the dog is still looking like not quite a dog. And the couple's like, "Oh God, no!" Like trying to get the dog out. And then I saw the same thing with the cat, where like the cat is playing and cat is like enjoying the house and like jumping on stuff. And the couple's like, "Oh, hi, baby, hi." And then they look at the window and the other cat is like, and they look at the cat and they look at that cat and they're like, "Who is you?" And the other cat is looking like, "How dare you? That is not a cat.
but
That is not a cat."
what
So
is but was it a familiar?
so typically what skinwalkers try to do is they try to gain access to your home in order to like so they'll take over an animal or something, but I think their goal isn't necessarily to kill you but to like get your energy. Yeah.
Really?
Hmm.
See,
So that dream
Argus.
I had where I was like been able to shapeshift into a dog, I'm like, they thought I was a skinwalker. I would never. Yeah.
See, Argus would be growling because he don't want to share his stuff with nobody.
I mean, but he be fussing all the time anyway. So if you ever had a dog come in and it didn't bark at all, you'd be like, no, that's not Argus. That's a
Right.
different dog. So
No,
yeah.
he didn't complain and he didn't whine. That
Hmm.
yeah, I'd be like,
And when you let him out, he just sat down somewhere like a regular dog. You'd be like,
no,
that's not
that's not
Argus.
that's not
This is a
Argus at
skinwalker.
all.
Yeah. So yeah, so like that's typically, but then a lot of times you'll also see skinwalkers that are like humanoid, but they're not actually human. So like they don't
Ooh.
walk like humans, but they will try to pretend to be humans.
I need
So
you to stop with that because when I went to the place today to get my tire fixed, I
mhm.
promise with all my heart and soul. There was a person, I'm not gonna, there was a person that if I watched a scary movie, I would be horrified of that person.
Mm.
That was that as I was pulling up, they were walking across and it was a thin person. I'm just hoping that it was a deformity or whatever you want to call it, but it
Mm.
was a thin person
Were they
and
white,
yes,
blonde?
no,
Okay.
dark hair, but really pale.
Okay.
And they were just like their backs was leaning back and their fronts was way ahead and their body just it didn't walk
Was it
right.
scoliosis?
Nope, it but not pointed, not at a slope like that.
It could have been like scoliosis or lordosis,
I have
where it went
no,
that way.
listen, in my
It, it
36
reminds you of
years,
like the Men in Black worms.
yes.
That's what, yeah. When you were saying, that's what I thought about.
Yes, that's
It was like,
exactly what.
yay, yeah.
Yes, that's exactly what the look was. And they were walking as I was pulling up, and I said, "Oh, go on by." And then when I saw the way it was walking, I, you know, that feeling, you just like something ain't right.
So did I tell you when I was staying at that lady house in Orlando? I was on the phone with you when I discovered that she was not a human.
I remember. I remember that.
Yeah, same energy. But she knew that I knew at the same time. And so I had stayed at her house. This kind of goes, but not really. And like I had been at her house from Monday through Thursday. I left out
Mm-hmm.
Friday morning because that's how I always
Mm-hmm.
stay. Because I used to
Mm-hmm.
work here in the O, but I lived in Palm Coast.
Mm-hmm.
And I had not seen this woman. And I told you from the beginning, I said, I think she's pretending to be a human. And you was like, girl, what's that mean? Because
Mm-hmm.
like I never saw her. I saw the cat, and I'm someone who talks to like cat. Sometimes I talk to the furniture. If I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, furniture, I didn't mean to hit you. Like, so I'm like talking to the cat. You want to come in? You want to go out? What you doing? Because the cat is an in out cat. And like, but when you open the door, there's leaves in the house from outside. And then I look up, and then she has 2 floors. But you look up, and you can see algae all on the ceiling, like mold, all and mildew, all on the ceiling, and it looks like someone has tried to break through the ceiling. And then I opened the fridge because I used to bring my own food because your girl was struggling, and so I would bring my own food. I opened the fridge. The fridge is full of rotten food, and I opened the microwave, more rotten food. And I was like, I'm not putting my food in here. I'm not putting my food in here. And so I put my food in my vehicle until I can go to campus and put it in the fridge on campus. And so then I went to the bedroom, and the bedroom was a queen frame with the air mattress in it. And I was like, okay. And I went to go ahead and like take a shower in the bathroom. All the soap was dried out, but it had not been used. It was just dried out soap. And even the bathroom looked like it had like a mold on it. And I was
Was
like,
this a VRBO?
this is the Airbnb. Yeah. And
But did you see how many stars did it have? Or,
so here's the wild thing. I'm not done yet. Wait, I got to tell you more.
okay.
Fleas throughout the whole house. Fleas. Like I got ate up that night, right? Mind you, I'm getting home at like 7:30, 8 o'clock at night when I'm finally coming home. She's not home. The moment I'm in the bedroom, I hear the car pull up every single night. I'm leaving out at 5 a.m. She's not home. Just the cat. So I'm like talking to the cat, you coming in, you staying out. She's not home. So the last day I'm leaving, I finally see her. She's out gardening. So from where my room is, I look in the backyard, you see the pool. The pool completely mildew, no water. And so I go back and I look at the reviews. Only me and one other person complained. Everyone's like, "Oh my God, it's so beautiful." Someone who had just left the day that I came in, like the day before I came in. And I'm like, did they glamour the people into thinking this was, because that's the only way you could say this is a good place. Because it was like over 15 people saying how great it was. And I'm like, they had to have glamored this. So when I finally saw her, I'm like, hey, I'm the one that's been like living in your house. I haven't seen you all week. As she comes close to me, tall, thin white woman, as she comes close to me, I hear something say, she's not human. And it's like the moment I heard it in my brain, it's like she heard it too. And she's like, oh, I can't touch you because of the plants. And I'm like, what? She's like, oh, I can't touch you because of the plants. I said, oh, okay. All right, well, I'm heading out. So I don't
Do
know what
you
that was.
think do you think that maybe your ancestors was protecting you before?
I don't
Because you know what? Maybe if she would have touched you, maybe you would have glamorized, maybe everything that you saw would have been gone.
possibly. And then you remember that movie with the cat people with Kevin Bacon?
Yes.
I was like, was she a cat person this whole time? Like I thought I was talking to the cat and it's really her. I was like, everything is because I never saw the two of them together. That's the thing. So I was like, child, let me get out of this place. But so that was before I knew about like the Pleiadians. And the
I
Pleiadians,
don't know what a Palladian is.
so they're from a star system called the ooh, I can say the Pleiadians, but it's like the Pleiades. And so they're supposed to be really tall and thin and white, blonde hair, blue eyes. Typically what you would think of like a model in the 80s.
Okay.
And that's literally how she looked. And I was like, girl, not you pretending to be human, but it was wild.
I do not know. Now that you said that, I do not know. There was God, I because I watched. Listen, I watched it twice, but I cannot think of the name of it. But there was like this. There was these people that from somewhere. I don't, but I want to say that they lived underground. But
Hmm.
anyway, but they were, but one, but one of them like made it with a human, and they actually could pass as human,
Hmm.
and it was something like that where she had like white hair, white
Hmm.
skin, but what she did is she like people would go hiking and they would get lost, and then she would bring them into this room with a big the watchers. You ever
Okay.
see that?
I think I did, but I don't remember it.
But they would have this big window, and she would tell them they can't leave at night or they can't leave at a certain time,
Hmm.
and the where they were, they would always get confused coming in, but there was a window and the watchers wanted to watch them because they wanted to learn how to mimic our.
Like human.
Yes.
I think, Ma, wait, I think this is the other Stephanie Meyer. Was this back in like 2009, 2010?
I don't think it's that old. Okay, I'm gonna ask you a dumb tech question. Can I can I can I look it up while we're still
Hold on,
on?
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do
Okay.
it. Oh, but my tell the story we were supposed to originally be telling.
Oh my
We got
gosh. Attention deficit disorder again. You're talking about when I was talking to the husband?
no when y'all saw each other downstairs going to the bathroom.
You're gonna have to help me because I have a lot of these stories in my head.
Okay, so the Watcher is 2024.
Yep.
Okay,
You
so
see
no,
the
I haven't
person?
seen this one.
It is
Is it
whoo.
Dakota?
Yes, yes.
I love me some Dakota.
And
I love Baby Can't Act.
but she's so scary. But to me, she's scary looking at times.
It's just because she just does such great physical acting
Yes,
that she
very
can
much
look
so.
terrified, but then she can look terrifying. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes, yes.
Okay, so the story y'all both told separately,
Okay,
and then when that's when I was like, wait, something happened. Where y'all was saying like, oh, I saw you this morning on my way to the bathroom, and I spoke to you, but you didn't say nothing to me.
okay.
And then you was like, what time was that? Because I did the same thing. I spoke to you and you didn't say nothing to me. You literally just kept walking.
Yes, that is true.
And then y'all was realizing that the times wasn't adding up. Like it was at different times that this thing happened.
Yep.
And that's when y'all realize, oh, that wasn't me.
Right, because I remember passing by the bed, passing by the bedroom. There was a room that had bunk beds in it, and I passed who I thought was that person, and I
Mm-hmm.
said good morning, and they didn't say anything to me. And you know how this person is. You don't know if this person is in a good mood, in a bad mood, in a
Mm-hmm.
so I was like, well, and I was
Good
thinking,
morning to you too.
wait a minute. No, listen. Think of how Mama used to always say, "I ain't sleep with you last night," but
Right.
but I ain't say nothing. And then when we sat down for breakfast, and I said, I spoke to you this morning. You didn't speak back, and they're like, "No, I spoke to you this morning. You didn't speak." I was like, I clearly know that I said good morning, and
Mm-hmm.
you looked at me and absolutely said nothing. Like looked
Mm-hmm.
at me and said nothing.
And they were like, you did the same thing. And that's when y'all realized the time wasn't timing. Because
Right.
you're like, around what time was this? And then they were like, what around what time was this? And that's when I was
And
like, oh, the plot thickens. Like, like that's so like at this same person's house is when I had my first like as a as
encounter.
a autonomous person encounter. My first encounter happened at grandma and granddaddy house. But this was
Right.
like that first time as an autonomous person where like I first actually heard my spirit team talk to me. Where I was staying with them for a spring break. And I was staying in the room you just talked about. They had the bunk beds.
Yes.
I was in that room and they kept the plastic on the mattress.
Yes.
So I'm laying down and I'm asleep. And in my a dead sleep, I hear something wake me up and say, go to the bathroom. I don't question nothing. And looking back, I'm like, girl, you ain't question none of that? Ho, like somebody could have been set you up an okie doke. I questioned nothing. I heard the voice. I trusted the voice. I went to the bathroom. And so I'm in the bathroom. I was able to pee, thank God. I washed my hands, looked in the mirror, like, all right, let me go back to sleep. Because the bathroom was very close to that room. And
Yes.
so then when I went back to sleep, I hear something climbing in the bed behind me. And you can hear it because of the plastic. You can hear this, like, literally something climbing in the bed behind me. And then
Hmm.
it curled up and, like, held me safely. And I went to sleep because, like, didn't feel like anything bad. It felt like it was protecting me. And so I went to sleep and I was like, I woke up the next day, like, so that was weird. But like I was safe. So and I feel like it had to clear the room from whatever was in there in
Well,
order to like protect me.
I'm gonna tell you, I don't know what we have or what it is, because I know years ago, when I was working at Shan's in the MICU,
Mm-hmm.
and I went outside to smoke, because that's just when they had started saying no smoking. So, but we would go out on, how there's stairs on the outside and you could just
Mm-hmm.
go in. So it was on the outside. We would go out there and smoke, and it was so cold, and I was going through something. It was, just a stressful time. I don't know if I was trying to figure out if I was going to nursing school, if I was having like family issues or whatever. All I know is I went outside and I was praying as I was smoking. And
Mm-hmm.
I remember
And
singing,
what's wrong with that, ma?
Pastor Joe would be like, but I just remember being out there and praying and smoking, and it was so cold, and I forgot to wear my jacket or my sweater or whatever I had. And I said, Lord, if you're here, I said, please make me warm. Please warm me up. And I promise you, it felt like somebody wrapped their arms around me and held me.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how that feeling is? I just got that feeling like it took my breath away until and like I had tears in my eyes. I was like, okay, God, God got my back. God
Mm-hmm.
is protecting me.
Mm-hmm. Legit. So now you can tell the story about us thinking that it was their spouse on the floor the whole time.
Oh my gosh, yes, because we were asleep in that room. Remember? We were
In the living room?
Yeah, where the fireplace was. I don't
Okay.
know. Yeah, we were laying on the sofa, and my husband was on one sofa, I was on the other sofa, and I think you were with the kids.
Mm-hmm.
And we're laying there, and I see something laying on the floor. My husband sees something, a long, full body laying
Mm-hmm.
on the floor in front of the
See, I
fire,
remember this part different, but go ahead.
but laying on the floor in front of the fireplace.
Mm-hmm.
So we get up, and I don't know what
Isn't
we
that when
were.
y'all we go to the kitchen because we're all in the kitchen
Yeah,
talking?
it
Yeah.
go in there, and I remember saying, "Oh, I saw what's his name," and in my head, I'm thinking, well, maybe they had an argument, maybe he didn't have any place to sleep because there's so many people here, and maybe he
Mm-hmm.
just laid in front of the fireplace.
Mm-hmm.
And me and David had already said, I wonder why he was laying on the floor. Why was he?
Mm-hmm.
Because David seen it, I seen it,
Mm-hmm.
and then when we
Then
went
we
in,
saw it because we're all in the kitchen and we like could look out the kitchen because we're
because
at
it was
the table
still
all talking.
there, because
Yeah,
it
and
was
we
still
saw,
there,
and I just thought it was him watching television.
right?
And then he came home from work.
Yes. And I said, oh, this person slept on the floor last night, or slept, or was in there when we woke up this morning. And they're like, no,
They went to work.
they went to work this morning.
And then we literally heard the person come home from work.
Come home from work, yes.
Yeah.
And we were like, what the hell?
Right. And the fact that it was just casually chilling watching y'all probably.
Right.
He was like, this is an interesting channel.
And we are just, I mean, and I don't think I spoke to it because I thought it was sleep,
Hmm.
or he was asleep. So
Hmm.
I do know that much. I do know that
And mind you,
I
this person is tall. This person's
very
over 6 feet
tall.
tall. Yeah.
At least like 6'3", 6'4".
Hmm. Tall and thin.
Yes.
Hmm.
And that's what I saw on the floor. I
Hmm. I
know.
remember.
And it had like a little afro.
Hmm.
And
And so did
that's
this person. So
yeah.
that's why it's like, is this a mimic or is this a skinwalker? Because it never did anything harmful. It was literally just hanging out chilling.
It was just almost like you said, like just stealing energy, maybe.
Or maybe just enjoying the energy. Like, oh, the house is full. It's a vibe. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
the
But you
thing
know
that
what? But whenever I went to that house, I never I never felt comfortable.
because you're always being watched. You can feel like you're being watched
Yes.
because of all the things in the home.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I never, but you know how it is whenever I come to your house and I can fall asleep on the sofa. I can fall
Mhm.
asleep until you tell me it's a lizard running around. But I can usually,
I can't even keep them no more because the pest control is so good now. First world problems.
but I usually, and like my girlfriend Bridget, I can sleep in those houses very easy because it's like that loving,
Mhm. It feels
I can,
peaceful.
yes,
Yeah.
I can feel that loving feeling. But at that house, I could never, never, never. It was always one of those where it's like I'll sleep when I get home.
Mhm.
I'll really sleep when I get home.
Mhm. Yeah.
So
So I'm trying to think. The other I'm trying to think of phantoms I've had outside of the main home. So like I
I've
think I
had,
told you.
and the house that finally got torn down in Pembroke.
Mhm.
Okay, besides the massive rat that was carrying the 5-pound bag of potatoes.
Is it the house that belongs to the person who's still alive?
Yes,
Okay.
but it was used to be the family house.
Mhm.
And I remember Mama told me that one of her sisters, was the oldest ones,
Mhm.
and they had got yellow slickers, like raincoats.
Mhm.
And one of the sisters was like, really, like, don't touch mine, don't all this stuff. And Mama said that they were that night they went to sleep, and you could hear something like scratching one of them, and actually ripped. She said they were all sleeping in the bed together, and you could
Mm,
hear something like scratching the side, scratching the slickers, because they were hanging up behind the door on, like, I guess nails or whatever they had up there.
mhm,
And she said the next morning they woke up and it was actually like tears in that
mm.
person's raincoat.
It was the ancestors being like, "Don't be mean."
And they still grew up mean. But anyway,
Mhm.
and
They're like,
anyway,
"It's this one moment that made me mean. This was it." And it, like, nah, you was mean before that,
you
bro.
was mean before that. You was mean from birth. But that is the room that in my head is the first time I acknowledge that I see my grandma when she was dying.
Hmm. Oh, you
She was
told
in
me.
she was in that back room,
Hmm.
and I was always I was always scared to look behind that door.
Because you scared you
And
was
because I didn't, and I've even dreamt about that door, like being behind the door, and whenever I dream of it, I always see a yellow slicker back there.
I also think that that dream could be like a metaphor. You could be like, really, a metaphor for you being afraid of your gift because it is death related. So always being afraid to like look behind the door because you're like, I don't want to see her. Because you said that was like
Yes.
the scariest thing you ever
It was, and being a kid, I'm gonna tell you this. Being a kid, I remember smelling that sweet stench of cancer,
seen.
and her fingers were so thin. And I know I'll tell this story forever because I was 3 when this happened.
Mm-hmm.
That's how much it stuck
Mm-hmm.
in my head. When she would say, and I remember her saying, Mama saying, "This is Kathy," and she touched me, and I remember those bony fingers touching my skin, and I wouldn't pull away because that was my grandma.
Mm-hmm.
And and everybody knew that she was getting ready to die. It was like she was getting ready to die.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember that sweet stench of cancer. And then years later, when I was a CNA working at the nursing home, your I don't know how to say, but one of your friends, their their great grandparents was in the nursing home I was working in, and I remember they had like cancer, was eating had eaten up through their stomach.
Who is
And
this?
we
Give me a code word that we have for this person. We got a
um
code word for everybody.
it was okay, the lady that sells real estate.
Oh, okay.
It was their family.
I
It
got you.
was
I
one
got
of them.
you. Okay.
But the cancer had was eaten through the stomach.
Mm-hmm.
And the nurses, because I was a CNA then, the nurses used to put like a dressing on top of it because I'm guessing it was leaking.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember walking in that room, and all of a sudden it hit me. This is the smell. I remember. You know that where you be like, I know that smell. I remember that
Mm-hmm.
smell. And
Mm-hmm.
and in my head, I was like, how do you remember that smell? It's been over 20 years ago.
Still.
But it stuck with me that much until I remembered that smell.
Mm-hmm. There's just some things that will forever stick with you. Like, and this is I should have known I had synesthesia then, but like every time I go past the paper mill, I'm like, it smells like gray grapes.
You always say that. And I don't
Exactly.
even know what a gray grape is. You
That's
don't
how
either?
my brain sees it. Like sees that color, but it also sees that same color in the so the landfill, not the one we used to live by, but the other one on the other side,
Mm-hmm.
Bronson. So when
Mm-hmm.
you get that smell, it gives a very similar gray grape color. The gray is slightly different, but I'm like, ooh, not the gray grapes, but that paper factory in
Mm-hmm.
Georgia, gray grapes every time. That's the first my brain said, oh, there's the gray grapes. There's the
I
gray.
remember you used to say that as a kid, and I was like, baby, grapes ain't gray.
But in my brain, because my brain sees smell and hears music as like color and texture.
I
And so
get
like
that.
that's how my brain processed it. Oh,
I
it's
get
gray
that.
grape. And I'm like, girl, what is great grapes? But like,
And
I'm like, no, it's great grapes. Like it's legit.
now, see, I don't see like the gray grapes and things, but I see like motion,
Mm-hmm.
like motion. And I'm gonna tell you the weirdest. Well, anyway, but it's just I see motion. I see
Mm-hmm.
like movement in
Mm-hmm.
something out of
Yep.
in music and anything like that. It's like that's what my brain goes to, a
Mm-hmm.
movement.
Mm-hmm. I'm telling. So the other family phantom that I have is actually from me being in my home with my former spouse, and I was working two jobs at this time. I was working at Chick-fil-A in tutoring, and I was
Mhm.
also
In
in
school.
yes and no. No, technically I wasn't in school. I was taking their classes.
Okay.
So I was like, wait a minute, something's up. So I am asleep. I am laying in, it is like 2, 3 in the morning. And I get this something nudges me and it's like go in the guest bathroom. I'm like, bro, I'm asleep. It's a spirit guide. And again, I didn't realize how actively I was talking to spirit guides. Like at this time, it was just really casual. I'm like, bro, I'm asleep. And it's like, go in the bathroom. I'm like, bro, I am asleep. And it was like, go in the bathroom now. Go in the guest bathroom now. And I'm like, fine. So I go to the guest bathroom. Oh, partner is in there smoking weed. And I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. This thing woke me up at 3 in the morning because of your foolishness. Literally what I said. Your spirit got to woke me up at 3 in the morning because of your foolishness. This is how I get woken up in the middle of the morning. Really? Really? And so, like, anytime that person would do something out of pocket, even when I was in Orlando and they were there, like back in Palm Coast, I would be woken up and they'd be like, you know what, just call, see what's going on. What are they up to right now? And they'd be like, hey, why are you calling? I'm like, oh, because your spirit guide came to me. Why am I calling? And they were like, okay, so see what happened was I'm like, yo, real talk. And so whenever we got divorced, I was living here and the spirit guide was still coming to me. And I was like, yo, you can't be coming to me, bro. Like, this is not my responsibility anymore. Like, I know this probably feels familiar, me living away and them being there, but we're not together. And so the last time I went to the house that we had obtained together, I am telling the spirit guy, like, hey, I'm in the library telling the spirit guy, like, hey, you can't come to me no more. You got to stay here. Like, I'm done with this person. I don't need to be in their business. I didn't know that person had put cameras in the house. And they were like, who are you talking to in the library? And I was like, yo, spirit guy, because they be all up in my business trying to come to me still. Like, I'm responsible for you. But like the fact that consistently they came through. And then I think I already told this story before where whenever there was a hit and run on their vehicle, where we
Mm-hmm.
heard the phone ringing
Mm-hmm.
and the phone had been in the drawer for no less than 4 years. It was
Mm-hmm.
a Nokia ma, right? So you already know that that baby was old. And this was back in 2010. And I'm like, what in the world? So like I don't think that's necessarily a phantom, but it's definitely a spirit guy who's like loud about it. You know what I mean? Like, no, you need to hear this immediately. I'm telling everybody. It's like, bro, calm down. It's 3 in the morning. Like I know that's the devil's hour, but you over here doing some devilish stuff by waking me up. You're not gonna like me when I when I wake up. So yeah, so like that was one of my phantoms that was like something that was attached to a person,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So ooh,
What?
I was thinking of one of David's phantoms, but I don't know if he want that out there like that, so I ain't gonna say that one.
Okay. I know that whenever I went to the old house, the old strong house that's now
Mm-hmm.
like falling down,
Mm-hmm.
I know that I would always feel something in that house. And it wasn't okay, I'm gonna tell you what it felt like. It felt like an older version of my dad. And I
Mm.
wonder if it was Fulton or if it was one of the children, or I wonder what it was. But I would always feel it whenever I went in there. And I know that, okay, like I know you don't remember, but it was the house, and then you would go out the long porch that would lead you to the road that we used to always walk down. It was a
Mm-hmm.
long porch, and for some odd reason I would be so horrified of that porch. I
Is it because you
don't.
thought something was under it?
Nope, nope. I thought something. I Me and Denise and Rodney used to say we could see somebody on the porch, and it wasn't.
Mm.
And it wasn't the
So it could
people
have
that
been
would,
somebody just guarding the port. You know what I mean? Like,
could have been.
this is my property. Of course I'm here. And you're like, uh-uh.
I don't
Like,
know you
I
like
literally
that.
built this with my hands. What are you doing right now?
Because you know that he did. He built houses for all of his children that wanted to stay there.
Hmm.
He made sure that they had a place to stay.
So yeah, so that's probably who it was then.
And I know that there was definitely something in the old house that we lived in, cuz when daddy would go to work, I would close my eyes and walk to their room and lay in the bed with mama. I I had figured out how many steps I had to take, and I would touch the table, leaving out the room. And
Hmm.
but I would never, because I had seen too many things, and it wasn't the triangle head man, but I had seen too many things, like just
Like
shapes.
ancestors probably peeping in.
It was shapes, and since I couldn't see for such a long time, I just,
Oh, because you were blind as a child, basically.
yes,
Yeah.
pretty much. And I just knew that if I closed my eyes, then I could make it there without seeing anything.
Mm.
And most of the time it didn't touch me, but sometimes it did touch me, but most of the time it did not. It didn't
So when it
touch me.
touched you, I guess maybe because you were so young at the time, it felt scary. But like I was trying to figure out, like,
It was
were you just
warm.
afraid or also was warm?
It was warm.
So it was trying to like show you, like, hey, I'm family. But you was like,
Yes. Don't like
That's funny.
like Eric is. I don't want to see you. I don't want to see you.
Right. His own mama. He was like, I don't do that.
I don't want to see you. If I see you, please make it in the daytime. I mean, when I'm
Hmm.
asleep. I don't want to see
Hmm.
you. I remember, I never forget where Malcolm said, I saw her in the plants. And I was like,
Hmm.
stop. He goes, no, really. He's like, I
Hmm.
saw her in them plants. He said, I
Hmm.
came out. He said, I went to the bathroom and I looked in. He said, and I saw her looking at me. And I said, no, 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 no. And I
Hmm.
was like, you said no, because I was like, I would, I mean, but, and
Come
I,
on. No, you wouldn't have. If you walking through your house right now, like at tonight, and you see her sitting on your couch, you're gonna be like, hey girl. You not.
no, probably not.
You're gonna lose it all. You're gonna be like, you know what? I don't even want this
Because you
house.
know what? Because you know
I've
what
been
I'm gonna
looking at other houses anyway.
because I might be like, it's a mimic. It's
See?
a, it's a
Not
mimic,
a mimic.
or I
I
mean,
haven't blessed
because
your house in a while, but it's not a mimic.
but that's what I would probably be saying. In fact, I was actually thinking, we need to bless the house again.
Yeah. Yeah. I need to yeah, definitely. So the other one happened recently. I told this story recently. So I was telling homeboy this story when I was at my sister's house. So
Mm-hmm.
I was the second hurricane. So I was in Hurricane Helene. So the second hurricane comes, my father calls, he's like, hey, you need to get out of Florida. And I'm like, that's not gonna be that serious. Like, I'm looking at the news. He's like, no, get out of Florida. And you like, babe, you need to go somewhere. So basically, he was like, I'm glad he got you to go. So I go to my sister's and I'm like, I don't want to talk to nobody for the week. Like, I just need to decompress because I've been on the mountain. I'm trying to process what happened on the mountain. Like, it's a lot. And I'm still trying to get like my students taken care of. You know, like, so I'm trying to do this whole thing. And I just needed to be away from people. So I just needed some time just for me. And she was like, girl, you can have my room. There's a bathroom here. You know, I'll crash on Nye. And so one of the things that calms me is watching scary movies before I go to bed. And then also watching scary movies whenever I'm studying or grading papers, it really calms me. And I found out why because you've given yourself permission to be afraid. So it's like controlled fear. But for me, I'd be taking apart the movie. I'd be like, so technically, the way that was set up should have been like this in order to make the story a full. Like, I'm just in it and I'm critiquing everything that's happening, but I still like a lot of the mythology. So I'm watching the scary movies, and so sometimes her door will open and it's the AC changing pressure, normal. Sometimes her door will open, but it's not the AC, not changing pressure. And who the man in her house, I don't know him. She don't know who he is. She can just smell his cigarettes and she can feel when he's looking at her or when he comes in the room. The man in her house, he likes to make his presence known. So he will be like jingling the doorknob. Like, so you'll know it's not the AC hoe. Like, that's the kind of energy. And so I hear him jingling the doorknob and he pushed the door open. I paused the TV. I said, "Can I help you?" He don't send because like I have it so that my guys will go out and the whoever is trying to come forth, my guys will be like, "Hey, this is who's trying to come forth," or they want to know if they can just touch you to show you what they're trying to say. Because I don't do showing up in person. We don't play that game. But if they can touch me, they can show me what they need to show me. So I don't mind doing that. So I can see it in my mind's eye. I can ask the questions. They will show me the answers. And so he never came towards my guys. He never stepped forward. And I said, all right, then I'm going back to watching TV. And it's like he had an attitude. He jingled the doorknob again and closed the door. Sir, you really tried me like this? And so my sister said the other day she was at home and it was like 5 in the morning and he bust through the room. And she was like, don't be busting in my room like this. You already know I don't play that. Nah, I guess I'm up. So she was like, I don't do that. But on top of that, why he had an attitude at 5 in the morning? I said, girl, so I can see. I guess I'm up because like you not going back to sleep after that.
Maybe there's a reason that they woke you up. Do you
Right.
remember? Do you remember at David's mom?
I was
That,
thinking about that. Hmm.
and I remember whenever we would be, I don't know. I remember asking her, did she ever see anything or did she ever feel anything? And
Hmm.
she told me that she thought that there was a man. And I told her, I said, I think it's a black man. I said, I think it's an old black man.
Hmm.
And she said, well, I was thinking that. She said, but I wasn't for sure. And she said, he comes, she said, I never can see him, but I can feel him in the
Hmm.
house. She
Hmm.
said, I can feel the presence whenever I'm home by myself. And she said, and sometimes whenever I get up early to make Cruz's breakfast and his lunch, I can feel him in the house. I said, because when I got up, I said, I definitely felt somebody. It was almost like they stood next to me.
Hmm.
You know how it is whenever, like when me and you or me and Brandon are together, and it's like we're standing next to each other just to feel that person
Hmm.
near, and that's what it felt like to me. And when told her, I said, I think it's a black man. And and in my head, I kept trying to think, well, why would a black man be out here with all the
Property.
migrant, property? Or
Hmm.
what if he was like one of the first workers in the orange grove?
And also, I think a lot of people forget that like there's a lot of Haitians that used to be down there working as well.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? He could have been Haitian, but he also
Yeah.
could have been like a migrant worker or a sharecropper or
Yes.
formerly
That's
enslaved on a plantation out down
yes.
there.
Yeah.
Because those are plantation houses down there too.
Yes, they are.
So so like there's a lot of options. But I think it's interesting. So this is why I'm never afraid. And I think that yes, I have a great spirit team, but I think it's always interesting because the other phantom, it's not family related, but like when I went to the Winchester house and the moment I stepped in, the who I'm guessing was a maid, her spirit was like, "Oh, you got to see this. You got to see this." And she was just so excited to see me and to show me all these different things. And so as the tour guide is saying something, she's like, "Oh, you're gonna love what's behind here." And then the tour guide says, "Oh, this is a secret door back here." And I'm like, "Girl," she's like, "You're gonna love this room." It's like she's like showing me, giving me my own private tour. But one of the things that I love about being black, and I know that's a weird place to start, but is that a lot of the like ancestors or like a lot of the older black energy welcomes you
Mm-hmm.
versus like when you white and you in a space and you're like, oh, I feel a malevolent energy. Yeah, bro, because you white at a plantation. Like, what do you
Right.
expect? You know what I
Exactly.
mean? So
Yes.
I like the fact that for a lot of times it's just like, hey, baby, how you doing?
Mm-hmm.
I love that. So
Let me
that's why
show you
I look
this. Hey,
for.
let me show you this, or let me take you here. Or I
Mm-hmm.
mean, because, and you tell me if you feel it, because I know, like in like old black churches, I will feel it.
Mm-hmm.
I will
Mm-hmm.
feel that where it's almost like, girl, you home now. You
Mm-hmm.
know, you that warm feeling. Um, the house that is okay. So the house that used to be in Otter Creek that they pulled down to Cedar Key, that everybody swears, all the white people swears it's not the same house anymore. That they couldn't use the house because it was some kind of crazy stuff. But
What
anyway,
house?
Aunt Nenny's house. It was Fulton's sister's house. It used
Wow.
to be, you know, where that man that is trying to Bo Rick us out of property.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be sit right across from there.
Okay.
And
Where that wine place used to be? Is that a wine place? A wine store? What's that white store thing that's there?
no, baby, it was across the road. You know where the electric poles come straight through?
Mm-hmm.
It was like it was right after the electric poles come through.
Oh, okay, okay. Okay.
And it was a big wooden house, and it was is it cousin Nanny or Aunt Nanny, whatever, but it was her place, and they supposedly, because that's what my father told me, moved it from Otter Creek to Cedar Key, and then they made it into a museum. But then the people from down there said no, they couldn't use it, but they used some wood off of it. I'm like,
So they
whatever.
built a whole different house
Yeah, that's what
that
they
looked
said.
exactly like the other one.
Yes, and it's now like the museum, like part of the museum. In
Okay.
fact, when we were little and they moved it down there, I remember Daddy took us there and said, because they were like, "Oh, this is an old house that was in Cedar Key," and Daddy was like, "Nah, that's Aunt Nenny house."
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't give the black folks the credit for
Well, is that what they did when they recently was like, we need information for your family by this weekend to go into the museum and see the key? Why y'all wait till this weekend?
and
We've been here.
why you need it for Cedar Key when we were raised in Otter Creek.
Right. Like we've been here all these years,
Right,
but this weekend y'all need it immediately.
right.
Interesting. But yeah. Yeah.
So, but that place, we we were never allowed to go in it because Daddy always said it was so old. But that house, listen, that house had stuff in it. It just had that feeling like there is something in there, because we used to be so drawn to that house, because we'd be like, we'd walk through there, and me and Denise would be like trying to get on the steps to go in, and he'd be like, "Don't go in there, the floor gonna fall through." He'd be like, "But can you help me up if it does fall through?"
Because we going in there.
Because
Like,
we
well,
going in
we
there.
going in
Listen,
there.
if I would have been, if we would have been you and Brandon, we would have been in there, because
Yeah.
y'all had no fear.
We was out exploring everything. Just they be like, all right, well, we'll see you when the lights come on. So the whole day? Okay, cool. We
Not
all
hey,
across the
hey,
railroad
it's
track.
8 o'clock in the morning. Go, let's go.
Right.
Don't
And we
worry.
all out here in the streets. Oh,
Then
the
yeah,
meet
y'all
and
was
greet
in the
Clark.
wood. Y'all was in the woods.
100%. But we had to cross the road to get to the railroad track area, which we was not supposed to be at. He was like, "Don't go across that road." Us.
Y'all actually did go
We
across the
did.
road?
Hmm.
And how old were you then?
I was kindergarten.
Oh my God. See,
That's
I'm
what
so
we got. We
glad.
used to go get snakes from over there. They had like some corn snakes. We used to go get snakes from over there. And they had the best throwing rocks because it was the railroad. So we used to go get rocks from over there too. So yeah.
Well, I can't say that because we used to get the throwing rocks, and we would get the put the pennies and the dimes on the railroad track.
Oh, see, it was no train by the time we was kids.
Yep. That's back in the old days. But
Yeah.
anyway, so to me, oh, you can't tell me that nothing wasn't in Miss Eva's house.
I was never in there long enough.
Yes.
Miss Eva was the phantom in her house because she was always on the porch, even when she wasn't on the porch. You know what I mean? So, like to me, it was like she must be over. There, hey, Miss Eva, and
But
like she was always watching.
listen, that back room from the off the kitchen,
Mhm.
there was something in that room.
I
There
was
was
only
something.
in her house one time. Miss Eva did not
What?
let us in there. She did not let us in
The
there.
only reason I was ever in there is because I had to always relay messages because Denise and Rodney wouldn't get the messages right.
hmm No, Miss Eva
And
she'd be waiting. I work across the street. She on the porch. What you got to say, baby? Just open the little door a little bit. Just the screen
n-
door. That's it.
no, she when I would go there, she would be in the kitchen.
Mm-mm.
And I would
Don't get
go
no woman in the kitchen.
and I'd go in the kitchen, and like I said, we were the scariest children in the world. And I would
hmm
look in that door, I would like stand next to her sink, and she would be frying food because everything was fried. And out in that room, and in my head, I would always think there is somebody like tied up in that room. There's
Why you
some.
thought Miss Eva was tying people up in the room?
mm But you know
Uh,
what? Maybe it was Mr. Pompey,
why you
her
thought he was?
husband. No, no, no. Maybe
Oh,
that's what I was
it was the
feeling.
energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because I mean, because you know that he kept Rodney until Rodney was school age.
How old was he? Like, how old were you when he died?
Maybe 11 or 12.
Hmm.
But him and Rodney was like, but they were old. I really don't know what Mr. Pompey died
Wow,
from.
we don't know how old she was because she never told me. Rude.
Well, it's the way that y'all
I asked her, then she was like, talk
shut
too
up, you
much.
talk too
But I was
much,
like,
you
I
make
did the
people
math
hate you.
because the math you told me is not the math that's mathing.
Yeah, because you said, how are you this age when my granddaddy and your son is the same age? And
Right.
she said, shut up, you talk too much, you make people hate you.
Well, she should have answered the question. So here we are. Here
Oh
we
my
are.
God. I will never forget that. Oh my gosh. I remember y'all
That's
came
why
over
she
and
let him
told
come in the house right now.
probably said that little girl know too much. I remember
She's asking too many
she
questions.
used to say that about you. She used to say, she been here before.
And have. And
And,
we'll be back probably at this rate.
and I remember she used to say that out that little girl been here before. I was like,
She must have
don't be
recognized.
listen, I was like, don't be making me scared of my own child.
She must have recognized me. But I
Maybe
can't
she
get
did
rid of her.
reckon that.
I know
Maybe
that
she
girl. One of them prostitutes I used to work in the house
shut
with.
up. I
And
need
would.
you. I need you to stop. Oh my goodness. And Miss Fanny.
I love me
Mr.
some Fanny. Her whole
Mr.
house
Nathan,
smelled like
Mr.
mothballs.
Nathan, yes, but Mr. Nathan had nothing in his house, nothing. But Miss Fanny definitely did. In fact,
Mm.
I don't know, and y'all forgive me, family, but I don't know, but in my head, whenever I would hear people talk about roots, I always thought of Miss Fanny.
Miss Fanny was definitely into the roots.
Was she?
100% yes. And it's so funny because I just thought about her. My spirit team said she one of us. So like Miss Fanny was definitely into the game way deeper than I'll ever be in the game. But I also think that that's why her and Miss Eva didn't rock together because Miss Eva was also into the game,
Yes,
and
definitely.
they probably trying to root each other for life. Oh, I put this on her, but then she put this thing back. Next thing I know, I see a jar on the edge of my property. Like I wasn't going. Like I can just see them
And
going back
that's
and
what
forth
they
like
would say. That's what they would say. If there's a jar, or I remember when my brother Michael was living across the road, and I don't know why he came from Tallahassee, but I remember somebody, I want to say mama told him that to keep evil spirits away, to sprinkle red pepper or some kind of pepper around your bed.
that. Mm.
And I remember when we went over there, not even thinking, I went over there and saw it around the bed, and I was like, "What's all this around your bed?"
Did you sweep it up, Ma?
No, I did not. I was little. I was little.
Okay, good. I was like, Lord.
But I do know that he was sleeping with somebody that was a lot younger than him and probably shouldn't have been. Um, um, you don't know her, but yes, you do. You kind of know her. Um,
Don't
Kenyatta's
say the last
aunt.
name. Okay.
Okay.
I said the name, Ma. Too late
There,
now.
but there's like six of them. So,
Okay.
but anyway, but I remember because I was probably about 13, 14, and maybe she was like 15, 16,
Mm.
and we would walk over there, and
Wait, ain't he
mysterious.
like 10 years older than you?
He's more than that.
Okay, so yeah, that was statutory.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And they would like go off in the room,
So that's why
and
somebody was putting roots. Is that
yes.
Rudy?
Huh?
Is that family Rudy? I don't really know them like that.
I don't know them like that either, but I wouldn't doubt it. Especially they're what they would call like a big grandma.
Mm-hmm.
That
But isn't that
woman,
Mr. Willis C?
no, that was Mr. Willard. He is
Oh,
still living with the
that's
name.
good. Who is Willis
Um,
C?
Willis C was Wilma's husband.
Okay. Okay. Which is so funny because I thought it was Willis C one word, but I realized it's Willie C. But I thought it was Willis C. Like that was his whole name,
That's
Willis
that's because that's how we said his name,
C.
Willis. There you go,
But
Willa
see, if
C.
Willis C got that, hey, Mr.
Yes,
Willis C. But it's like Willa.
Willa C. WILLAC.
Yeah. Oh, that's
but
funny.
I was on the phone with Rodney and Ken at the same time, and Ken was like, "You know who I saw the other day? I saw Willa C." And I was like, "Oh my God, I haven't heard that name in 100
That man
years."
gotta be at least 100.
Then he is not 100.
Listen, he gotta be mine. He old. He the type of older granddaddy would say is a young man. That young man.
Yes,
How old is he? He only 83. Okay, well,
but all right. So definitely, definitely, definitely. Um, the one person that I told you that maybe she was into it, I was so scared of her that I never even went in her house.
I never you talk about.
No, their big grandmama. She lived
Oh,
like their house was there, her house was right in front.
okay.
And I was I was too scared. I would stand out at the road and just call their names.
I ain't never going into their houses because grandma and granddaddy told me not to. They did. So like when the sisters were there, I was like,
Yes.
can sister one, two, and three come out and play? I would be
Yes.
from the road, the middle
Yes.
of the road.
Well, I went in the house and wish to God I wouldn't have, because they had like pet roaches.
Mm-hmm. Or that's what
And
they was like. It ain't cleaning it. Don't go in that house. Don't bring nothing back from that house.
yes,
Yeah.
and they had dirt floors.
They never improved the floors?
Nope, they swept the floors.
Oh. I mean, it wasn't an Adobe house. I don't know why they would have dirt floors. Okay. Well, So yeah, they probably did have something up in there. But like it's wild to me that our families never married.
I know. Not even had children from.
Nope.
That's the same thing with the Bronson family. What?
Correct. And I was just talking to homeboy, and I was talking about like all the people in their family I dated, and they was like, "You dated my cousin, you dated my other cousin." I was like, "I dated all your cousins." I said, "But I didn't end up with none of them cats." So it's like
But you
our
know what?
families never married,
But there was something you just didn't. Why? Not even the Horace men in our family.
which is wild, but also, well, which is wild. Yeah, yeah, no. Even to this day, no.
Yes.
Hmm. They got protection. They like, don't do them strong, don't do them
You
strong. They
probably
rude. They
you
rude.
probably right. You probably right. Don't
Mr.
mess
Richard
with them
probably update the
strong.
prayer right now.
I will let Daniel in, but I won't let nobody else in.
None of them. None of them.
Oh my
Uh,
God. But yeah, definitely, definitely, definitely. It's still a it's still a mystery to me how
I
out
mean,
of
but we didn't rock with none of the. We didn't like. Well, I guess you and Chieflin,
yes, that was a horrible
but then Auntie also rocked with Chieflin too. Y'all rocked with Chieflin because she
yeah, but
married several people from Chieflin. Two
who
people.
married?
Auntie.
No, he Malcolm's daddy went from Chiefland,
I'm talking about Bruce.
but she didn't marry him, he was already.
They were married.
No, Danielle, no
They
baby.
weren't married. Oh no,
He was
you're right.
out.
You're right. Yeah. And they was together for
Um
a long time, but no, they wasn't married. He did too, though, ain't he? Yeah, he did. Yeah,
it
he did.
is it? I don't know.
I think so. If not, I'm sorry if you watch this. You alive. I ain't gonna kill you like that. My bad, my bad. I think he is,
Um I
but
don't
yeah.
know.
So we just really didn't really rock with them in that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just weird.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why. Well, I know that, okay, I will tell you this, and it probably will sound horrible and mean, but
Mm.
I just remember always knowing that we're not, we don't have a lot of money, but those people right there, you stay away from.
But see, that's not true of all of them. Some of them are like, oh, this is a quality. Now, some of them in
Yes.
prison, they just doing generational things, right? I
Yes.
but like
Yes.
some of them are like trying to better themselves,
Yes.
but still, it was like, nah, life didn't work out that way.
I know how silly, how crazy. I
Mm.
mean, you know, I think that when you and Scooter started dating each other, everybody was like, maybe this is the curse being broken.
Why not you putting people name out here in the street?
I'm sorry. Sorry. Sorry.
Wow. My, that's why I can't commit no crimes with you. I ain't never telling you about no crime I'm doing. I'm trying to say use them, they pronouns. You just say straight to the name.
I didn't say his real name.
My everybody who know us know this. I done said homeboy. I did say, one person's name at one point, but
Yes.
that doesn't necessarily mean I was talking about their particular child. You was like, you know what? Let me just name. Let me just throw it out there so everybody knows. But yeah, so I think that a lot of people was like, because we were talking and we were like talking about how when we were prommed up and they were like, y'all might as well go ahead and get married. Y'all matching and everything. Go ahead, go straight to the courthouse. And we was
Who said
like,
that?
everybody. When we
Oh wow,
remember we
I ain't
went
say
around to
that.
different houses and
Yes,
took
because
pictures.
everybody wanted to see y'all.
And we was like, we're 15. Like, what are we doing
Was
right
that
now?
all y'all were?
Ma, for junior prom, yeah.
You were 15.
He's 6 months older than me.
That's it.
His birthday's in June. His birthday and BJ's birthday the same birthday. He's in 86. I'm in 87.
Why
Everybody
did
else
I?
from that year is 85.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, we're
Oh
only
my
6 months
gosh,
apart.
I
We're
thought
the
he
baby.
was like a full year or two older than you.
Mm-mm. Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, so and then for our senior prom, same thing. Y'all might as well go and get married. We're 17, 16,
We're
17.
well, this is Levy County. People were getting
That's true.
married
That's
very
true.
young.
Facts. I was actually in class with somebody who was married.
Did I
Correct.
know him?
Probably not. She was,
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's white.
I
I mean,
did.
it's white. I was like, look, I forgot you're not on TikTok, so I don't know if you see that often. But yeah, you probably didn't know her.
Yes. Listen, my husband knows that. He said that he will be sitting in a meeting and there'll be like a group of black women and then they'll be talking about, all right, let's just say for instance, they'll be like, yeah, we have infections going around where we can tell that people aren't washing their hands in the bathroom, and the black nurse will be like,
Well, why is that so accurate? You be like, you already know who we talking about.
and they and David said he'll look and shake his head, and after the meeting they'll be like, you don't know what we were saying. He's like, yes I do, I've been married to a black woman for 32 years now. I know what that means. And they're like, "Ooh, we sorry. Don't be
Don't be
sorry."
sorry. Be careful. That's what you got.
Exactly.
Like, tell your people they better wash their hands. When you in there, you see them. Tell them.
Well,
Tell them.
see, the older way, what we would do is, see, I can't do it because, all right, so hold your hand up like this and just do like a line down it. Yes, that, and but you put it like in your lap so nobody can see it,
Oh
and
wow.
that means black, and then you flip it over for the white side and just, yeah, and just rub your hand down.
Oh, see, so like when we talk about black, we literally just be like, you know how we are, and then we'll just
No,
keep talking. Okay.
no, what we used to do is you just rub your hand down your hand, like, you know, and
Oh,
then
like
if,
feel like this side
yep,
versus this side.
yes, and that's what we would do. And
Well, we
he's
like.
he said he's done that several times. He said, or he'll be sitting back charting and they don't think nobody's watching, and he said he'll see the little line where they'll flip their hand over and he be like, I said, David, you don't supposed to be letting people know that you know the code.
Exactly. Keep the code to yourself. Keep the code to yourself.
I said, you because you don't look like you would know the code, so you ain't supposed to be letting them know that you know the code.
That's hilarious.
But
So
another, okay, so let's do another phantom. Do you think that the thing that drug you out the house was a phantom?
I don't know what that is. I don't think it was a phantom. That was flesh. Like that was real. Cause I bit it. I tasted it. It was salty. And I still remember that taste to this day.
Really?
hmm And I
Does it
remember
taste like
having
somebody
like,
salty?
huh?
Does it taste like salty? I mean, does it taste like
Tastes like
sweat?
flesh. Yes. And I
Mhm.
can still remember feeling the dirt from the bite under my like the back. I don't know if you bit skin. I bit skin before. And like when you bite hard, you can get like the pieces of the skin that like flake up. I still remember that taste. I remember biting that man.
Skinwalker?
I think that's something completely different
Okay.
because it was never pretending to be what it wasn't.
Yeah, it was showing you what it
It
was.
was 100% like I am part fish, part man, and I'm stealing you. And I was like, it was given. My mama didn't say that I can come because she don't know your people. Like I was like, because when my mama found out I left this house, first the whole family gonna beat me in Otter Creek. They gonna take me to my mom and she gonna beat me.
Oh
The
my
devil's just lying.
God.
Y'all not gonna get me beat out here. You can't steal me.
Listen, when my niece and nephew was here, Christina was very, very adamant. She said her baby couldn't go to nobody. Talk about, don't be passing nobody out. Don't be passing her off to nobody. You are her mama while I'm not here. She
Mhm.
can't go nowhere. She can't do nothing unless you with her. You and David are the only ones that, and I was like, I get you, She's like, no.
That's funny she say that because she showed through that child to me.
Well, that was different. And we talked about that this week.
Actually, it was Joaquin she threw.
Yeah, but that's what we talked about that. She was laughing and telling Joaquin, talking about, yeah, your grandmama was mad because we woke up. We thought the house was gonna blow up.
And she was so
And
mad.
and she said, and I was trying to save my child. So I threw you. And Joaquin was like, she's
Right.
like, he was
Just
like,
threw a
you
baby in
threw
the
me.
air. Yes.
And and then I said, and thank God she played softball so she could catch you.
We was not catching babies in softball. That wasn't part of the curriculum. That was not what we were doing.
And then I said, but you kept running through
The one bush.
the one bush.
So like, y'all need to cut all these bushes. It's one. It's
And
one.
then because when all of this stuff is going on, and she's like, y'all need to cut down them bushes. And I'm thinking in my head, all these bushes. I need to go out here and see all these bushes. And I went and looked and I said, Christina, there's not a lot of bushes out here. And she's like, yes, there are. I'm scratched all up. And then she went out there talking about, there's one bush. How did I keep running through the one? And it wasn't even like a massive bush. It was like a bush. And she said, and I kept running through the bush
Oh God.
saying, why does
It's
Kathy and
screaming.
listen and saying, why does Kathy and David have so many bushes out here? And like I said,
Oh
all the
God.
excitement and everything, you know.
So yeah.
Okay, all right, so I have a question. Yes, we're talking about skinwalkers and all that, but do you think that certain things hold certain powers?
Explain.
Like old objects and
Yeah.
stuff?
What in
Okay,
particular are you talking about though?
well, I am going to show you something. Karen got this from a yard sale,
Why
and
you let her
it's
bring stuff to your house?
well, that's what I'm. Since tomorrow is garbage day, if you tell me, yeah, this look like something that you don't need to have in your house,
Quit letting people bring stuff to your house, ma.
yes, ma'am.
Does you not remember the dolls
Oh God, that was horrible.
and
I
where we got it from?
I need you to stop. You ain't do it right. How you supposed to do it now? Thank you.
Aggressively so. Aggressively so. Them dolls over here randomly turning on.
Oh my
Ding.
God. No, wait, here it goes. I was like, oh hell.
We gotta bury these hoes. They can't even be in the. So y'all put them in the attic. So randomly in the middle of the night they'll be turning on
Well, then it's not as bad as you trying to scare David with the clown,
for the clown.
moving it to different parts of the house for him to freak out.
That was hilarious. He likes scary movies. I figured he'd enjoy it. It was a comedy.
Not a, you know how he is about clowns anyway. Okay, so I'm
Let me
going
see
to.
the thing.
All right, let me show you. Hold on. You ready?
Mhm. Let me see it. Why would she bring you that? It felt racist. It feels so racist.
She bought it at a flea market. I mean,
Why?
at a yard sale.
Why?
She bought it
Cause she
from
was
a
like,
yard.
"Oh, I saw it and I thought about you."
No, she didn't say that. She said, I know you have dolls in your curio cabinet. I mean, but mine are from Honduras and where else did we go? Honduras
Belize.
is somewhere. Yes, Honduras and Belize. And I was like, well, I'm gonna ask Danielle what she feel about this thing.
Well, how
Does-
you feel about it? Do you feel uneasy within your house?
A little.
Get rid of it.
Okay.
When she brought it to you,
Mm-hmm.
I said, "When?
Like a month ago.
Get rid of it." It was there when I was there.
Mm-hmm.
I
I
ain't
meant
see it.
to I meant to ask you to look at it.
Was that thing running across your house? I kept asking, "What's that from running in your house?"
I don't know.
Get rid of it.
Okay.
Because remember, I couldn't figure out what it was running in your house, and I was like, "Ma, there is something running in your house. Leave that hoe alone. Get rid of her." Because we done seen Annabelle over here.
Did you hear? Listen, people gonna
They
be like,
lost her, but they found it again.
Listen, they gonna be people gonna be like this podcast. You could tell they got attention deficit disorder,
And it's
cause
okay. That's what we're here for. We got a lot of stories.
but David read this thing where the Annabelle doll, the real Annabelle doll,
Mhm.
every town that it comes in,
Something
something
burning
happens.
down, and we was in for it. We was like, take her to the White House.
And that big house that burnt, it was in their town.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then they went to Texas and lost that hoe.
How you lose a Annabelle doll? Nobody ain't lost that thing.
They found it.
Where was it?
I don't know.
Dan, you know good and well them
Allegedly,
people
she
ain't.
can move. Out. That's the thing. That's why they had to lock her up in a case because she can move. So that's why they keep her locked in a case. But she back home now. She's back in the museum.
Why would you? Why?
She was going on a little tour. She wanted a tour apparently. So they was doing an Annabelle tour. But she back home now. Listen, mom.
Oh my god!
But
But when
yeah, it was so funny because TikTok was like, you know what you could do? Take her to go see our nation's capital. I was
yes, that's what you could do.
I was like, y'all roll for that.
No, why?
They was like, we did not have Annabelle on our bingo card for being the Avenger we needed. I was like,
We need to set her in the Oval Office.
Well, it was so funny. So yeah, so they talked about how like, oh, she was lost, but she's good now. We took her back home. Why was she out? Yeah, like she is like a feral animal. Like, why would you
Right.
even just be showing her this is the outside? Yeah.
Yes. I mean, that's like I feel the same way about Amityville Horror. Why are you trying to sell this place?
Some people love collecting and like staying in scary. Now, don't get me wrong, I would do an overnight, but would I buy a house that like the Amityville? Absolutely not. Not if I
I'm
ever
not
want to date anybody again.
all right. Okay, listen. I'm going to tell you the truth. I do not think that I would stay the night, a night. I would walk through it during the day, but
Mm.
the Amityville, there's too many proven facts and
And
nah,
it's happened
dog.
multiple times. That's the thing.
Yes.
I'm not finna stay in a red rum house. It's
No.
a no for me,
Oh
bro.
God, no.
Like, even if I stayed there by myself, the spirits there are they bloody. They like to kill. And that's demons. There we go.
Yes.
That's a demon, you
Mm,
know. And I be so like pressed when people be calling things that aren't demons demons. I'm like, that's a demon. Stay
right.
focused. The Amityville
Exactly.
Horror House, that's a demon. Now,
Yes.
your
That's the
dead
demon.
relative that's coming back to tell you you love you, that's not a demon. That's your dead relative saying I love you.
Right. That's not a
Demons
demon.
will show you they work. They happy. They be like, look, we murdered all these people last night. Like they're
Right.
very proud of their work. They not trying to do the most. No, calm down. Like they will tell you when it's them. They're not hiding it. They're like, yes, we did that. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, no,
Exactly. That's how I
no.
feel too.
Like
Yeah.
that place in the movie, the hotel from the Shining Hotel.
Yes. Damn, nah, I'm good, dog. I'm good.
Like I would go visit the hotel. I'd probably stay one night. But like, am I trying to like live there? Am I trying to stay multiple nights? Am I trying to stay with people? None of that. No,
Well, I
no.
will tell you this. If I go, I I need to have my tribe with me, like my people. I
Because them be the people they use against you.
no, why? Like you?
Yeah, mine, because they'll be like, it'll be a whole skinwalker or a mimic acting like it's me. Next thing you know, you chopped up. Don't do it. Don't do it. And your husband is white. Don't do it. Because they'll be like, white man kills black woman after 38 years. Like, it'll be a whole thing. And you know, all the black women, how we should have told her, see, that's why you can't marry nothing. My, don't do it. It's not worth it.
Well,
In the words of that person, it's not
it's
worth
not
it.
worth it. Well, I
Ah,
was thinking more. I was thinking David, but I was thinking like you and Brandon. I know that my people would be around me.
mm-mm. I'm not going with him.
Why?
Mm-mm. There's a smoke and there's a stack.
didn't.
I'm a smoke personally. You see where I'm going with this?
Yes, I see
He
this.
is that.
He's a stat.
He is that. Mm-mm.
I think that's so funny. I think that's so funny.
So
Smoking.
no.
So that's what I'm gonna start calling y'all, smoking stat.
Smoke. He ain't gonna get it because he ain't never gonna see the movie.
Smoking stat. Oh my gosh, that
I'm
was
a smoke.
too.
I'm a smoke.
He's a stat.
He's that. Anybody who sees Cena Sinners, you get the reference. You get the reference.
Oh my gosh, that is too funny. I like that. I'm a smoke. He's a stat.
All right. All right. So that is it for today. Since I am in my office, I don't have anything to you know what? I can't burn it, y'all, because I'm on campus and that's illegal. But I do have an insect randomly in my don't come for me. But I can't burn it, y'all. So we could use your imagination. All right. So may anything that we discussed not stick with us or our audience.
Amen.
May everything that we discuss stay here in this moment. May you keep the energy you came here with. May we keep the energy that we have. And we hope to see you next time. Pretend
You
like,
you know what? You did the way you were moving the incense. It was like the Disney ears.
yeah. Oh, goodness. All right. That's it. Have a good night.
Have a good night.